So, welcome back from Christmas and New Year's. I hope it was blessed for you. And then I want to say also welcome to folks on the internet. Thank you for signing up. And welcome to those few that are watching from Facebook. We're trying out this for the first time, and interesting if it will hang on to the end. You know, you never know with these kind of internet things. So, we will just jump right into it. Meditation, that is what it's about. Make sure that you're comfortable, sitting in an upright position, on a chair, on the floor, on a pillow. With your back straight, in a vertical position. And having the back straight in a vertical position is the sign that you are willing this. It is your desire to sit. It is your desire to be present. It is your desire to be awake. Feel how your body is touching the floor, the pillow, or the chair. And allow yourself to relax so that all of your weight is falling onto the pillow. You're present, not thinking about being somewhere else. being here and now. Be aware of a point underneath you, exactly the point in the middle underneath you, which is the point where you are touching the surface you're sitting on. And from that point, your spine, your body is erect in a straight line to the top of your head. But let us begin by focusing on the lower part of your body, bringing peace and presence into your experience. Allow yourself this moment to fully be present. This moment is dedicated to do nothing but being present. So decide for yourself that thoughts right now are not important. They are quite secondary, and your own presence on your pillow is primary. Now be aware of your belly and be aware how it expands as you breathe. And be sure to let every breath be breathed down into the lower part of your body, as to ground you, as to support your presence in this moment. you find yourself disturbed by thoughts or images, pay closer attention to your breath. Watch it carefully as you breathe in. Notice the little pause before you breathe out. And again a pause before you breathe in again. Perhaps you may even want to sit with a loving feeling to yourself. Add it to the breath, so that every breath is a token of love to yourself. Every breath is a caring, an embrace of your own body in this moment. Now let us shift attention a little, so that with each breath you become aware of your chest area, the middle part of your body. And with every breath you continue to develop a deeper presence, but now your focus is more centered around the chest or your heart, but not so much one point, rather the whole area around you. With every breath you may notice how your chest is expanding and contracting. And breathe peace into your chest area. But still remain present. Remain here. again, we shift attention. This time up into the head. Still allow your breath to carry peace and presence with you, with your attention. As you place your attention in the middle of your head. And let this point of attention be a point from where you observe. Still remain here. Observe your body. Observe your experience as you breathe. Now your breath is transporting quality of attention up into your head, making your concentration stronger, more intense. From the point within your head, be aware of the totality of your body. Be a witness to your own present state of being. your attention fall to the heart. And from the point of your heart, let there be a flow of love, of friendliness towards your own body. Let there be a gratitude for this wonderful vehicle you have in your possession, with which you have had many experiences and you will have many more to come. All will have to be experienced through your body, through your senses. Allow a flow of gratitude from the point of your heart and throughout your whole body, even beyond your whole body. You create a field of gratitude, a field of love. And you are present with your body and with the love. If any memories should arise that would make you think that you are not worth, or the body is not worth loving, include those images and love those too. Those images are part of you. meditation is coming to an end. But before we finish, direct your gratitude to the source of life which upholds your body. Which makes your heart beat and your breath keep breathing. The source is nowhere particular to be found, so there's no point to objectify it. Rather, direct it towards your own being, a gratitude to the source of life within you. And now, in your own time, externalize your awareness and when you're ready, open your eyes. So, how was this for you?
For me, it was a really nice reconnection with focusing on the body, being in, and it was a bit surface for me.
Right.
It's the first one in a long time,
Yeah.
and the first one of today. So I didn't get into it, but I did center.
Right.
And that was nice, and this refocus was helpful.
Yeah.
So, good start.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. How about you, Kai?
It's not so easy here, sitting like this.
No.
I worked until 4:30, and I came directly, so it's like
Yeah.
a long day.
Yes, of course.
But anyway, here I am.
Yeah. Very good.
Mm.
Courageous. It's good, Kai. Yeah. It's tough to make ends meet, especially when you want to be peaceful. and meditative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to do things meditatively, you have to do them slowly. You have to do them with mindfulness. You have to be aware of what you're doing and not rushing through with a lot of stress and so forth. And optimally, we should be doing that in our work as well. Like, I saw a headline on a Danish newspaper, and it said, it was some woman who probably got down from stress. I didn't read the article, I just saw the headline, but it said, why is it that everyone has to feel like they are facing a lion every day when they're working? Like, because they are in that stress mode, where that stress mode is where we're supposed to be when we're facing a dangerous animal.
Mm.
We should be running for our life. But it seems like, many people are so busy that they are every day running for their life, or at least they're running faster than it's possible. And so that is utterly opposite to a meditative state. In fact, I like, just for the record also here, say that, meditation is not about going anywhere. It's not about accomplishing anything. It's not about reaching the goal. But when we are living our daily life, we always have goals. We always have meetings, appointments, agreements, duties, things that need to be done, and we have deadlines too. And we can't run away from them. But if that is all there is, it is a prison of the mind. The idea that that's all there is, and we must rush to make it. In meditation, there is no goal. If there is a goal, it is to be present. It is to be here. It is to stop going anywhere. Stop seeking. Even though you may say that there's a spiritual search, we're searching for something fulfilling, something that can make us happy. But what we are always talking about here is that the search is within, and that we're basically making a fundamental mistake by searching outside of ourselves in a spiritual practice. We may search for some, let's say, particular teacher or particular teaching, and that's okay. But when we find that, then the search must stop. We must go within. And we can do that every day. We can be with ourselves every day. We don't need to go anywhere to be with ourselves, to be within, to rest within, be as we are. And this is not easy. It's actually way more difficult than we just might think. And it takes years of practice to shift the viewpoint around, to say that actually everything does not begin outside of myself. Everything begins from within myself. And so that also means that if we want changes, the changes must come from within. They must be initiated from within. And once we discover that, or once we begin to turn around, it's a process, of course. It doesn't happen just like that for most people, at least. It's a very slow and gradual process. But as we become more clear about the fact that there's an outside life or experience, and then there's the internal experience, the subjective experience, which is what gives energy to our senses. It gives energy to our mind, which makes up opinions and ideas. And very, very quickly, before we even notice, we have made those ideas and images our own. I am this, I am that, rather than saying, I am witnessing in my mind an idea, a thought. It's not my idea, it's an idea. It's just an idea, it's just an image. It's not my image or an emotion. Not that we shouldn't take responsibility for them, because when we are attached to them, we have to deal with them. But the idea with meditation is to find out that behind the creation of opinions and ideas and thoughts and emotions, there is a deeper self, a deeper presence, our own being, a subjective being that does never sleep, that does never, is never sad, is never worried, does not have any opinions. It simply just is. It is our own isness or beingness. And it is very real, people. It's very real. Our own beingness. It is right here and right now and always. Even in the moments where we are most out of ourselves, of despair or anger, frustration. That beingness is there. It is looking through our eyes. It is feeling through our feelings. But it does not own those feelings. It does not attach to those feelings. It is our consciousness localized in this body. Any comments about that question? Or your own personal experiences, please.
much to say, but I think sometimes in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night when I focus on my breath, so that's like this connection with the beingness.
Yeah.
And well, that's about all I have to say at the moment.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
very
just
good.
Tapping into it.
Yeah.
Just
It's
the fear.
super essential
Yeah.
because the breath, without it, first of all, without it, you wouldn't be here. Your body would be, reduced to its components. It would be topsoil.
Mm.
So we have a lot to give thanks for the breath and for the function of the breath. And the breath is one thing that we carry with us everywhere. And so if you have a link between the simple feeling of being and the breath, that is a key. It is the rope you have found to pull yourself to the shore. This was an image that I used in the beginning of my meditation practice, that finally I found that rope. I could pull myself to safety. I could pull myself towards the goal I had, or towards whatever had to happen or have to happen in terms of adapting a meditation practice into your life. Or let's just say a practice, because I will always advocate meditation. Of course, that's why we're here. But we cannot only reduce spirituality or awakening with meditation. Awakening or wakefulness is all of the time, everywhere. It's in all the situations we find ourselves in. And so that key of breath and being one, or the being is giving life to the breath. That is, you can find yourself becoming very grateful for the breath to continue, because we are not in control of how many breaths we are going to breathe. We're not in control of how this life will unfold. And so every breath we should be grateful for. And so if you go to those fundamentals, the being and the breath, and that we can do anytime, anywhere, in the grocery store, when we're waiting to pay, we can just think about the breath and the being inside that has no rush and can wait forever. It will, maybe even if there's some compassion involved in your experience, it might even say, please come before me, I can wait forever. No problem. Just and you stand there in the shop till it closes and they force you out. So when you meditate in this way that we just did, which is very bodily oriented. But for me, it's essential. It's essential in terms of a very integral path of not excluding any part of your life, not saying that one part of your life is very bad, or one part of your body, or one part of your emotional life or your mental life is very bad and you want to exclude it. Rather, we want to embrace it and include it, love it and respect it. Because with anybody, when we exclude them, when we deny their existence, they will start to rebel, they will start to make sure that we become aware of them, but in a way that is not very pleasant. In a way where they will have to force their way to become known to us. And that is how our subconscious works. That things pop up out of the blue, let's say anger or whatever it can be, that suddenly these emotions emerge because they haven't been acknowledged. And so this kind of practice where we begin from the bottom, we begin by building our foundation. And this was how the meditation was built up. It was beginning by the touch of the pillow and the point just beneath you, which is your roots going into the ground from where you came. Our body consists of mainly water and then some carbon and some, various minerals and so forth, but mainly water. But all of it comes from the earth. And it goes to the earth. When we are no longer here, we become topsoil. That's as simple as that. So, the creation of human bodies, it's amazing, isn't it? Because we just reproduce ourselves, but we are the planet. We are the same material, or at least some of it. So, if we want to be in harmony with ourselves, we need to respect the ground. We need to respect our fundamentals. If we think that it's enough to be up here and to just think yourself to your own reality, then you're very isolated from the rest of reality. Because reality is all this, all that, and all that we cannot see. So we are part of a cycle of a planetary life and a planetary intelligence that just unfolds, and humans are part of it. But humans tend to see themselves as quite isolated, even on top of everything, better than anything, any other being. So we feel the right to kill animals and eat them, for example. Not to mention kill other people, but that's a completely other disaster. But just that we are not paying proper respect to the life forms. We see them as commodities, as objects, not as living beings. Even the vegetables, they are living. And we can thrive when we eat them, especially when we eat them raw, because then they're still living. They still have the vitality in them. And so eating something and getting vitality, there's also something to be grateful for there. It's something we don't think about. We just eat. And then we stop thinking about what to eat or good things to eat. We just eat because we just eat anything. And then we end up eating a lot of crap. And where does it lead us? It leads us to disease. It leads us to disrespect of the planet, of ourselves, of our own micro-universe. This amazing body that is so amazing that when it's fine-tuned enough, we can talk with each other mentally, telepathically, without opening the mouth. We can sense the nature and how the nature can help us. But when we live this very narrow, closed-minded lifestyle, where everything is just measured in objects and commodities, things that we exploit, we close down ourselves to that narrow field of consciousness. And so, beginning by respecting our own body in the meditation is opening up for that whole reality to become part of your reality, your experience. Not just a theory we're talking about, but an actual experience. And let's just say that it begins by you feeling more light, more happy, or blissful, actually. Blissful. Because bliss comes when you are letting go. When the divine life takes over, then you in return get bliss. And this is how we are meant to thrive, not even survive, thrive. We're meant to thrive through being at one with nature and all its intelligence. And not taking control all the time, not being in control, but allowing nature to show us, allowing life to show us. And I've talked about this in other ways before. The way that we can allow solutions to come to us when we have problems, rather than we getting stressed about, I have to find a solution, it has to be now. But this is not how life works. Life is very organic, but we think very mechanically. We think like in squares. And life is totally and utterly everywhere. It comes in all forms and shapes. And there's no set method or way. The way for the mountain stream is down the mountain. It doesn't matter which way, it will find the best way, the right way, the easiest way. But humans, we make laws, human laws, and we have to follow them. And those make it difficult for us. Or rules, not just laws, but rules and habits, cultural rules, so that when we move to another culture, for example, then we find out, oh, in this culture you're not allowed to do like this. People look strange at you if you do certain things. So the truth is that we can do exactly what we feel like. There's no limit. And this is where bliss comes, when we find out that actually I don't have to be so much in control. I can just take a break. Allow life to take the lead. And trust that there's an intelligence, and that each task we have, it's not mundane. It's not like we have to make our job or tasks or duties mundane and boring and stupid. We can make them divine. But it's very uphill to do that on your own, because we are part of a greater system. You have colleagues, and Kaya, you work in a school. It's like if you have to work by divine laws, you have to change the rules on the school. So then you have to say to all the children, like, now we are making new rules here. You must be exactly who you are, and there's no pretending here. We will make classes which involves speaking from your heart and allowing your emotions to be expressed. And we will meditate. We will feel how it is to be a human and having a body.
Tell that to the teachers.
Yeah, also the teachers. Yeah, of course you have to start with the teachers. Sure. So, okay, this was just an example, but it's just to say that it's so
good
terribly difficult.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we can become inspirers. We can become sources of inspiration to others. And so slowly we can change things. By refusing to continue the old style. And it is time now. We cannot continue in this old style. And much is changing in society. Sure, it's happening very fast, and so this kind of practice, practicing awakening or wakefulness, is a natural outcome of those changes. But like I said, when I used that example in the grocery shop, that you have all the patience you need, because if you feel good, if you feel happy, why change anything? Right? So, of course, it's not always so. Sometimes we feel miserable and we would like to move on to some nicer place. But we must be very patient with ourselves, as with others, but we must start with ourselves. So, like I usually say, infinite patience. That is what we need. We have infinite consciousness, we just don't realize it. But to realize infinite consciousness, we need infinite patience. Because it's not going to happen very fast. And those who think so delude themselves. Many people claim that, awakening, that's just something that happens very quickly. But it's multi-layered. You can awaken in many different ways, and you can awaken to many different levels of consciousness. So it doesn't mean that you awaken to the highest that you can ever awaken to. So some people awaken and they feel, I am awake. But still, there's more to come. So we need to be patient, especially when we have wisdom enough to sense that it is not that simple. It's not as simple as just 1, 2, 3. And it's, in the long run, it will not be satisfying to aim at the short-term goals. So that's why I suggest a meditation practice as a lifelong practice, a practice that never ends. It's not because you want to attain a goal again. The goal is to be. And to be, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go anywhere. But the quality of being, you can improve. And you improve it by being aware and awake. And that's what we need meditation for. To create a little moment where there's nothing else that distracts us. And when the mind does distract us in that moment, then we need infinite patience. But I know that results come. They do come. So when you have a real desire to reach that goal of becoming yourself, of unfolding your true quality, your dharma, your dharmic quality, which is essential for the whole world. Like, we are each very important. Just like the brain cells in our brain is important. You can't just say, oh, that one is like an idiot, we take that out. And then idiot, 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 idiot. And then when you're done, there's a few brain cells left, right? And you say, oh, I like those, but then what kind of consciousness do you have? Very little. We need everybody. Every one of us we need to be who we are, to have a planetary life that is beautiful and produces love and creativity and growth. This is another thing. I shouldn't keep rambling on here, but we must not think that everything is set in stone, that life has some sort of ultimate level that we reach, and when we get there, then there's nothing more. then I might as well just die, Even I'm happy, I'm enlightened, nothing else to do. It never ends. It never ends. Consciousness will always expand further. So just look at how our culture functions right now. It's totally a culture of stagnation. Yes, we have schools and universities and so forth, but they're teaching stagnated knowledge. They're teaching something. This is how it is, this is how it has always been, and this is how it will always be. Set in stone. It's not true. So we need some teachings that are way more organic and living, where we understand that the truth is something that is growing, developing. And when I say truth, of course I mean the reality just as it is, the cosmic, ultimate reality just as it is, without interpretation. And the truth we can find in ourselves is our own little realization about that. That the truth is so much greater than I can ever comprehend. So therefore, for me to form any sort of, very stagnated, ultimatized picture of reality is arrogant. It's just downright arrogant. That who was it that said, I think it was Shunryu Suzuki, who said, the more I awaken, the more I realize how little I know. And this is where humility replaces the arrogance. Quite naturally, with awakening, the arrogance just evaporates. And instead you have humility. You're humble to the greatness of life. And the way everything is organized, organically, naturally, spontaneously, without any controller. Like, who is deciding how the butterflies have to look like? Who is controlling how, all life is developed? Certainly it's somebody who is more clever than we are.
This talk really resonates because recently, for the time being, I'm internally struggling with this, keeping the control or letting go, and what happens, and there is this ping pong going on, and adjusting taking place or something.
Yeah.
About those enlightenments, so there can be on daily basis this small enlightenments.
Yeah.
So they come in small, tiny pieces.
Yeah. Or awakenings.
Awakenings, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of one big bang.
Exactly. Yes. The old school of the old traditions was about getting out of here, reaching a transcendent level of consciousness where you are stepping outside your body and basically leaving your body behind to die. That was the goal, with reaching nirvana, reaching samadhi, and then just letting the body die off by itself. Of course, life back then was probably not as interesting and pleasurable as it is now. But we need to learn to, this is also natural. We are learning to respect every step of the way and every part of us. And therefore we also have this kind of practice where we are realizing step by step, realizing little truths here and there that is connecting the dots, or you're making the puzzle and you're getting the picture slowly, bit by bit. But in your case, what you're also explaining is that, you're also standing where you're battling between the one who, the old you, and the new you. And like I said to you earlier today, it's amazing, it's great. I'm so happy for you, because this is where you are seeing things clearly. You begin to see the clarity of the situation, the clarity of the one who is struggling to hold on, to control, that the one who has likes and dislikes, who has opinions about things, who likes to have things done in a certain way. And then you have the other one who is just steeped in bliss and being and joy. The soul has no agendas. So when you come to a point where they actually are clear opposites, then you are beginning to really being able to make a very conscious choice, where you are not in doubt of how you should be choosing. Should you choose the restricted, limited persona, or should you choose the one who is trusting, having faith in that which gives life to you and to your experience, that which makes you breathe? And when we have that faith, it's not that it just is there. It has to be developed. It's also maybe a relationship of confidence or confidentiality. Like, can I trust you? Can I trust God? Can I trust life? Like, what if I let go of control? Then is everything just collapsing or becoming chaotic? And so, of course, we are letting go gradually, slowly. But if we are letting go a little bit more every day, we may see that actually life comes up with the most amazing solutions by itself. Solutions that you would never have thought about, never dreamt about. You meet somebody that is like, oh my God, you are like the solution to all my problems. Like, suddenly a problem is just solved in a way that you couldn't have imagined. And it happens when you let go. Otherwise, when you're holding on to your restrictions, you can only you only have the old toolbox where you need to fix the problem with the whatever tools you have. But when you allow life to help you, there's an infinite toolbox that is just beyond anything that we can master as little personalities. But no need to rush. Rather, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. You know, if you have that within you, in and out of meditation, go with that. Just always follow that bliss. Because it will, just like the ego is very manipulative. It's a very skilled part of us that is manipulating the reality so that it conforms into our liking, right? The ego tries to control life so that we get as much of the good and as little of the bad. Whereas the divine working through us does not see good and bad. It just sees opportunities in anything. Opportunities for growth. If we need just like that. No need to be, sour or, bitter on life because of that. But when you have tasted the sweetness of bliss, of being, then that is your path. And you should just, we shouldn't be grasping it. We shouldn't be like desperate for it. We have to be patient. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Mm-hmm. When it's not there, too bad. You are left with what you have. But then suddenly, it's there again. And then you can be grateful. And you can try to allow it to sweep you, take you, bring you along the path where you are not deciding where to go. You allow that bliss to take you where it wants. And you give utter authority to bliss, to the bliss. It's difficult. It is. Well, it's just to get the bliss. That's one part of the path. To get there where you actually feel that something that is out of the normal image of being a human is present with you. That's already very good, very nice. When you feel that you are having this extra field of love and like a sugary, sweet being, energy of sweetness. So, yeah, okay, I think I have to stop now. We have to meditate again. But you will hear from me, the practice of surrender, the practice of, allowing the life to take you, rather than you being some sort of like master that I know exactly what to do, Rather, as soon as you sit down, your job is to sit down and get to the pillow. That's your job. Then from there on, you just shut up, sit with a straight back, and allow life to carry you the rest of the way. That's a bit of rough and straightforward way of saying it. But to think that we know everything and we know exactly what to do is arrogant. So, allowing the Divine Mother, Shakti, to nurture us and let her know what is best for us, rather than we always claiming to know what is best.
And it's not always nice what happens to us.
No. But Divine Mother is not a sentimental being or energy. It's not a being as such, but it's part of a reality we live in. It's not sentimental. It is there to show us the way.
Mm.
And when we resist, we get difficulty. We get disease. And when we accept and take her hand, then we get help, then we get ease. All right. So let's be at ease. Make yourself comfortable on your pillow, on your chair. But sit with a determination to be what you are. Maybe you will not feel it already now. Maybe it will be some time in the future. But it begins with your desire to get there. It begins with your desire to let go of the control as an ego personality, and rather become the soul that you are, the spirit that you are. And that spirit is right here and right now, within you. Allow your breath to be central in your experience. And allow your breath to fill your whole body with energy, with pleasant energy, soft, soft and tender. And the breath, it is the extension of Shakti, a universal principle of the Divine Mother. Let her breathe for you. Allow your breath to be Divine Mother's way of instilling life into you. Let every breath be a blessing from the Divine Mother. See if you can surrender yourself to this moment. Surrender yourself to this spot that you're sitting on. Allowing the present moment to become an overwhelming reality of truth. A complete change of perception. A perception where you are of a divine origin. And your true constitution is that of spirit. Of pure being. If you can, allow every cell of your body to surrender to this moment. As if all the muscles in your body are relaxing and saying, okay, I surrender. I allow this moment to be exactly as it is, without any need to modify it. Maybe you even want to promise yourself to be more aware of being relaxed and open, so that the flow of life can flow not just into you, but through you and into the world. meditation is coming to an end. Be sure to give your thanks to the life within you. And to your body. And be blessed with the breath of Shakti, the breath of Divine Mother. And in your own time, externalize your awareness, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Jayama. That means victory to the mother. Jay means victory in Sanskrit. So Jayama is victory to the mother.
Thanks to you.
Oh, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. So this was the first of our Wednesday meditations this season. I have to say, I'm not sure if you have noticed, but we will have a break in February because Lena and I, we are going to India.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, again. So, but we will just continue after that. So we still have January, and yeah. Then
Week 10 is the holiday in the school
Mm.
system.
Oh.
I'm going to be away then. But
Okay.
Me too, maybe in California.
Oh,
My
we
son is
week
living
week
in San
10.
Diego.
Oh,
Week 10 is that end of February or
it's the first week.
First week of-
First.
first week of March? Yeah. Okay. Well, it could be. Well, we will have to see.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
okay to continue.
Yeah, sure.
Let you know, this is finished thing.
Yeah.
Week 10.
Yeah. It's funny. It's because it's not so cold in March.
Week 10 and 42.
Yeah, those are the magic.
You love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and thank you for folks on the internet. Hope you enjoyed it and hope the connection went smoothly. And blessings to you all.
How is it now if I check on Facebook? Can I